Shalom. First of all, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Baha, Rakha Kodash. All right. Of course, I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who were well. Peace and salutation to all the sincere Akim that's rightly doing this work in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Amafa from Great Millstone Plain Tables Camp, coming again with this truth. All right. Right now, we currently gonna go into we lesson on the Shabbat, or Shabbats. About, of course, how we, of course, supposed to keep it. All right. Because these laws, statutes, commandments were, of course, set, for us, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, which descend back to the 12 tribes of Israel. That's our actual identity, all right? And these laws, statutes, commandments, which we've been set up with, of course, supposed to be kept on to this very day, all right? But, of course, since we have the whole world given into the hand of the wicked, all right, the rulership given onto the Edomites, which is the so-called white man, we have a bunch of confusion that's going on, all right? This world is currently, in gross darkness. It's so much lack of knowledge here, all right? And that's why Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is going to destroy this place. Yahweh being the true name of the Heavenly Father, all right, who y'all only call God, all right? He's going to send down his son, Yahweh Shai, to bring forth the judgment for the wickedness of the earth, all right? Yahweh Shai, we are ignorant called Jesus Christ, is going to come down and judge this place, all right? And of course, one of the major, things that Yahweh Bashem Shai hates is, of course, that a lot of his people are not keeping the law, statute, commandments, all right, are not even attempting to, all right, or even that when they're even told how to do it, they still refuse, all right? That's why Yahweh Bashem Shai is going to destroy them. All right, so let's just get straight into it. Go to, of course, Isaiah, the 24th chapter, verse 5. It reads, "The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws and changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant." All right? So the ordinance is the laws, all right? Laws given unto the nation of Yasha'Allah of Israel, all right? Which is the 12 tribe of Israel, the Negro, Latino, Native American, all right? And the laws have been changed by the so-called white man, so he says in his, world that, the Sabbath, all right, is is just Sunday. And you got all these other wicked Christians and such, all right, who say that it's on Saturday. And then you have all this, you got these other Hebrew Israelite groups that's saying it's Friday to Saturday and all of this other stuff, all right? And there's so much confusion, sun worship, pagan worship, all right? And wickedness, all right, that's going on, all right? Because this place, America, all right, has been under, of course, all of these different philosophies, bringing forth, the madness that you see today, all right? Well, nobody know what even today is, all right? So let's go into it. So this is going to be Exodus, all right, the 20th chapter, verse 8, all right. So this is Exodus 20 and 8. It reads, "Remember the Sabbath day," all right, Shabbat, all right, in the Hebrew, Asha, Pa, and Atha, all right, Shabbat. All right, and to keep it holy, all right, holy, of course, being separate, Kodash, all right, pure, all right. It reads, 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Shabbat, the Sabbath of the Lord Yahweh thy power, which he's a power unto the nation of Yasha'Allah of Israel, all right. He is our power. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is our power, all right. And he, we of course supposed to go and be pleasing unto him, all right, by of course honoring his days, which was set up, all right. It reads, in it thou shalt do no work, it says, do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. All right, so on this day, we would not work. All right, which in this today's society, we actually are forced to work. All right, some of us who are unable to, take off, we have to work on that day, and that's fortunately Yahweh Shem Shai blessed us with grace. All right, because otherwise, we would be destroyed. All right, and not keeping the law, statute, commandments. All right, keeping it. The Shabbat or Sabbath is holy. All right. It says, for in 6 days Yahweh made heaven and earth and the sea. All right, and that goes back to the Genesis. All right, the first chapter, which we'll go into. All right, and all in them is, and rested the seventh day. All right, which that's gonna be the Elohim. All right, Yahweh Shai and the angels. All right, because when you go back to the Genesis, when they say in the beginning, and God created the earth. Let me see if I can get it real quick. In the beginning, when God created the heaven and the earth, that word there is Elohim. All right, and that's plural. Allah being power in the Hebrew, and Yum makes it plural. All right, so the powers. All right, Yahweh Shai and the angels created all that you see. All right, and of course they rested. All right. They, of course, gave all the credit to, of course, Yahweh, all right, because through Yahweh, he had that blueprint, which he gave onto Yahweh Shai, who created, the rest of the angels to do all of this, what you have, which is the universe, all right. Let me continue on. It says, wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it, all right. And you could go into that, I can go in that word hallowed real quick. Yes, Kodash, all right? Set apart, all right? Separate, all right? Consecrated, all right? Consecrated, all right? So that's it. It's holy. It's a holy day, all right? So let's go into the Genesis 1 and 4. This is Genesis 1 and 4. It reads, it's like Genesis 1 and 14. It reads, in the Elohim, said, so that Elohim, the powers, all right, said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven, the Shemayim, to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. All right, so of course that's how you're gonna tell time. All right, and what you're gonna go into it is that, of course, the Shabbat. All right, and is gonna be determined by, of course, the new moon. All right, that's when when the beginning of the month is, and get your count from there. All right. So let's go into that word. So let's say for signs and for seasons and for days and years. So the lights in the firmament is the sun. All right, you have the moon, you have the stars. All right. And in it, you gonna get. When you get this understanding, how we, of course, tell time. We can tell what's going on, if it's different little tokens, the signs Yahweh Shem Shai left, if it's coming, all right, all of that, all right. It says, and let them be for signs, let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and it was so. All right, so let me go into that word, the word, I believe, seasons, when you go into it. Let me see, I'm going to go to it real quick. Gen 1. I'm going to try to, make this maybe a two-part series, if anything. You go into that word seasons. You get the Hebrew word mawad. It's a ma, a wa, a I, and a duh. So mawa'id, all right? And it means, of course, appointed time, all right? Appointed, you have set feast, appointed season, all right? So that's going to be, of course, assembly, all right? It's going to be, of course, a appointed time for the Shabbat, all right? That's where you get your high holy days and all of that, all right? So, You know, you of course have to go into Hebrew, you know, of course, to go get the understanding of these scriptures. The how about Shem Yashai be dealing with you, all right? And these, you know, these fake pastors, these false prophets, they're not going into the Hebrew, all right? They're not going into it, all right? So that's why a lot of people are confused. Quick precept, this is Proverbs 14:5. A faithful witness will utter, it's like it says, a faithful witness will not lie, but a false witness will utter lies, all right? And you have a lot of false, you know, pastors, all right, which are false prophets, all right? Prophet means to speak before, all right? And they teach the flock lies. They don't even know when actual, you know, how to actually tell time, and you know, how, you know, they dealing with, of course, the so-called white man, you know, Esau, Edom, all right, you know, who they just go by the sun, you know, and we, you know, as Hebrew Israelites, we go by lunar, all right. So we're gonna go into this now. This is now Sirach. So I get one moment. The 43rd chapter, all right, verse 6. It reads, and this is the Apocrypha, all right, where the so-called white man took, you know, these books out of the Bible, all right. If I'm not mistaken, back in 1776, you know, the Bible Destruction Group, and you know, they say it's not canon, which is BS, all right. You know, the Apocrypha is part of the Bible. You can't just take stuff out of the Bible, all right. You know, this Bible wasn't even for the so-called white man. This is for the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right. Let's go into it. This is Sirach, or Book of Ecclesiasticus, 43rd chapter, verse 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season for declarations of times and a sign of the world. All right, you know, so we you know, we could be able to, you know, understand, you know, what's going on, what time it is, etc., etc. All right, going on. It says, from the moon is a sign of feast. All right, so you got, of course, you know, going into your high holy days. All right, a light that decreases in her perfection, all right, it wanes, right? The month is called after her name. So month and moon, all right, is synonymous, okay? It means the same thing, all right? So I'm going to continue on. It says, increasingly wonderful in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven, all right? You know, so we use the moon, all right, and it's going to be the new moon, you know, to tell when the month is, all right? So let's now, we'll go to, let's see, we'll go to, 1 second, I'll get, I'm going to go to 1 Samuel's, the 20th chapter. All right. Just a little count real quick. All right, that would die David. All right, Jonathan. All right, we're going to go into it. 1 Samuel 1. Or, see, where's the 20th chapter? Let me see something. One moment. All right. So I'm gonna go 1 Samuel's, the 20th chapter. And I'm going to start at verse 5. And Dawadah, or David, which means beloved in the Hebrew, said unto Jonathan, behold, tomorrow is the new moon, and I should not fail to sit with the king at meat. But let me go, that I may hide myself in the field until the third day at even. All right? In which, you know, when you get into, of course, time, you know, the day begins in the evening. All right? And then, of course, comes the morning. All right, you know, and so forth. All right, the evening is beginning. All right, I mean, you could go into the Genesis. All right, you know, and get more understanding. Okay, the first chapter. But it said tomorrow is the new moon. All right. So you have, of course, David. All right. He said, "Yo, tomorrow's the new moon." All right. So now we're gonna go into it. I'm gonna go to verse the 27th. All right. Verse 1 Samuel 20 and 27. And it came to pass on the morrow, which was the second day of the month. All right. So the second day, the first day of the month will be the new moon. All right. And then you get your count. All right. We didn't, of course, do things by you would say uh, days like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and such. When you go back into that, the history of that goes into, of course, pagan gods and all of that. And that's why, the so-called white man is a devil, because they worship, other gods, all right, which is wicked, And we Israelites, we're not supposed to, of course, worship any other God, all right? And that's a commandment on Yahweh Shem Shai, all right? Let me continue on. And it says that Dawadah place was empty. And Saul said unto Jonathan his son, wherefore cometh not the son of Jesse to meet, neither yesterday nor today? All right. So, of course, Dawadah, David, he was hiding, all right, away from, you say, Saul and such. And because he a wicked Israelite king, all right? And, the point that's basically being made here is the count, or how you supposed to count. The new moon is the beginning of the month, all right? And that the feast day, you're gonna get all your feast days and such, and judging time all by the new moon and such, all right? So, you could read, of course, that account, 1 Samuel, the 20th chapter, on your own. But, that's just the point, all right? Let me see. I'm going to now part 2 of this and close out, just so I can, not make it so, long, all right? So I see you in part 2. With that, I'm going to say, call halal Yahweh Shem Shai. All praise Yahweh Shem Shai. All right. Of course, double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Peace and salutation, all the sincere Akim. All right, that's doing this work. All right, we getting this understanding of the scriptures. All right, precept upon precept. Shalom.